Hey, what's good, everybody? It's me, your hero, Benjamin Banks, and you're watching Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. And today I'm going to be reviewing Chapter 309 of My Hero Academia, Can't Be a Child Anymore. So before I get into today's review, make sure that you like this video, you subscribe to the channel, and you hit that bell button so that way you're always notified when we have new content here on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. So let's go ahead and get into today's review. The chapter, it starts off where we see Boomerang Man and Mr. Smith, who are also two characters from Ketsubutsu Academy, who we saw during the licensing exams. They show up, they're trying to find Yo and Turtleneck, and they see Midoriya flying in the sky with Jailbreaker, aka Muscular, and they don't know who it is, but Turtleneck, she kind of puts two and two together and says that she thinks that it is Midoriya, but she doesn't know, she's not sure. Midoriya, he rushes back to All Might. And what was cool about seeing this is it's like I feel like Midoriya is Batman and All Might is Alfred. I don't know if you guys saw that comparison as well. If you thought so too, let me know in the comments. But yeah, I mean, like this is what I saw with them. They're working together. Midoriya is being tasked to go out in the city and help people from the jailbreakers that are out in the city now. We also see that Midoriya, he drops Muscular back off the Tartarus, and he's on his merry way to meet up with All Might. Now, I like the system that they have set up here because it's like the villains need to be captured. The villains need to be taken back to Tartarus and whatnot. We see that All Might, he's talking with Hawks and Endeavor. They're in the middle of fighting some villain from Tartarus. I don't know who it is. The villain looks kind of familiar. The villain looks like that villain from the My Hero Academia Two Heroes movie, the one that guy was riding in the beginning of the movie. And also, speaking of the My Hero Academia movie, we see that Midoriya, he has on the gauntlets down, and All Might mentions that he was able to get the gauntlets from America before they closed down Japan. And for anybody who knows, and like I just mentioned, the My Hero Academia Two Heroes movie, those are the same gauntlets that Midoriya had on when he was fighting in the My Hero Academia Two Heroes movie. I'm surprised that they didn't mention Melissa or David Shield, since Melissa, she's the one who created those gauntlets. So it was awesome seeing those in the series again. And then also too, like I had said in a couple of chapters a few weeks ago, we see Electroplant is going to be one of the heroes from America that comes to Japan because they need all the help that they can get. So it's going to be very exciting to finally see him in the manga and to see who else is going to show up in the manga as well. I'm assuming that some of these other heroes might be heroes that were also in Two Heroes as well. We'll see. There were heroes at the party who I do not remember what they look like, but I've been telling myself that I need to watch Two Heroes again. I've been so focused on always watching Heroes Rising because I just enjoy that movie much more that sometimes I forget all about Two Heroes. The only thing I remember about Two Heroes is the ending when All Might and Midoriya do that double Detroit smash. But back to chapter 309, All Might and Azumi, I believe that's Midoriya's mom's name. If I'm wrong, correct me on that. But they're in the hospital and we see the doctor that comes in there. And now this made me laugh because the doctor looks like Mario. Now, if you've been reading these chapters for the last couple of weeks now, we've had one doctor that's looked like Yoshi. We've had one doctor that looks like Toad. And now we have one doctor that looks like Mario. And if you can see the images that I have around me right now, I put the comparisons there so that way that you can see that they look like the Super Mario characters that we all know. And also too, rest in peace to Mario, because I know that he just passed away too. Not really, but yeah, he passed away. But yeah, like they're telling Midoriya that he's had problems in the past with using the quirk, and All Might, he finally tells Midoriya's mom that the reason why he is still alive is because that he was quirkless at first, and now that he has One for All inside of him, it's not harming him as much as it did the past users. And Midoriya, he says that he's not going back to UA because if he goes back to UA, Shigaraki can find him there. And he said that Shigaraki could have rolled up on him at the hospital, which he could have. Shigaraki could have rolled up with the crew. But who knows why Shigaraki didn't roll up with the crew at the hospital, because I mean, like, all the heroes are in a bad shape right now. And if the villains would have rolled up there, especially all of the villains that he freed from Tartarus, like, they could pretty much take Midoriya out. They could take All Might out. But yeah, he says he's not going back to UA. He doesn't want to put his friends in danger. He doesn't want to be with his mom because he doesn't want to put her in danger. And this was a very touching moment, because we go back to when Midoriya was a kid, and you know, he came to save his mom, and now we see Midoriya as a teenager who is going to be the savior that this city needs right now. And he hugs his mom and he lets her know that everything's going to be all right. I'll return to you. Midoriya, he dashes off again after we see that flashback of what happened when he was still in the hospital. And All Might, like I said earlier, he's talking with Hawks on the phone, and then we also see Best Jeanist, who's holding the phone very weirdly. I love Best Jeanist. Ever since he's been introduced, I mean, like, just his whole style. And I'm not talking about Best Jeanist when he was first introduced. I'm talking about, like, since we finally been able to, like, see Best Jeanist for who he is. Like, he has a long neck, like the car that he drives, like all of the jean puns that he makes, like the illegal denim. I remember illegal denim was, I believe it was trending on Twitter, because a lot of people didn't know what illegal denim is. Like, what is illegal denim? I mean, I know when I was coming up, you know, you had real Gucci and you had fake Gucci, and you had FUBU and you had Bufu. You know, you knew what was real, you knew what wasn't real. So Best Jeanist, I just love his character and like everything about him. And now we're gonna have Midoriya, All Might, and the top three heroes all working together to pretty much save the city. And that's how the chapter ends. Also, to Midoriya, before he leaves the hospital, he talks with Gran Torino, who tells him that, you know, sometimes you got to take that shot, and by killing somebody, you could still be saving someone. And this really made me think of Avatar Kyoshi from Avatar The Last Airbender, when Aang was trying to find ways to not kill. And she told him, she was just like, hey, you know, sometimes you have to kill somebody to save the day. And we all know that Midoriya, he's not going to kill anybody. Midoriya, he's just that type of hero where it's like he's seen so much in his life and seen you know, so many videos and studied and whatnot, that Midoriya is not a killer, and he's going to find any way possible to get the job done without having to kill somebody, because heroes don't kill people. So yeah, this was a really good chapter. It was cool seeing the students from Ketsubutsu Academy. Now, Boomerang Man, he's voiced by Lee George, and Lee George is somebody that we had come on our podcast. So I'll make sure that I have that video in the end of the episode. Check out that interview, because Lee, he's a really cool guy, very talented, and we were happy to have him come onto our podcast. So yeah, let me know what you thought about the chapter. Did you like it? Did you hate it? What are you expecting to see next? Do you like Batman, Deku, and All Might Alfred? Let me know in the comments. How did you feel about this chapter? And make sure that you check out our video review for episode 4 of My Hero Academia that just came out the other day. And check out some of our other stuff that we have here on the channel too. The channel. What is the channel? The channel. I don't know what I was trying to say, but yeah, check out some of the other videos that we have here on the channel. And yeah, I'll see you next week when we drop some more videos. Me and D, we have our Black Lightning review coming out, and then we're also going to be reviewing Demon Slayer Mugen Train, which comes out this Thursday here in America. So be sure to check out those reviews, and yeah, I'll see you next time. Like I always say, keep that pinky up, stay positive, and I forgot to drop my socials. You can find me, your hero Benjamin Banks, at KingBenji_Banks on Twitter and Instagram, and you can look me up on Facebook at Benjamin Banks. I should be the first person to pop up. If not, then I need to contact Mr. Zuckerberg. Again, keep that pinky up, stay positive. I'll see you next time here on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Peace.
Thanks again, everybody, for watching another episode of Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe to the channel. Podcast, we got that too. Make sure you give us a thumbs up and hit that bell for further episodes and notifications. Thanks a lot to our patrons. And if you don't mind, join the Patreon. We'll be having new specials coming up soon.